Welcome to the Saints That Serve podcast,
where each week your hosts dive into the crossroads of faith,
culture,
and the unknown. Christ is Lord,
and the kingdom is now. We are the Saints That Serve.
Hey, welcome to the Saints That Serve podcast. My name is Johnny.
I'm Jairus.
And we're here to entertain you with some entertainment.
Wow. And we're going to entertain you on this entertaining episode about entertainment, which is episode number
14.
14.
That's
episode
right.
14 of the Saints That Serve podcast.
You got it. And we are in our joyful season.
Joyful season to the world. The season is joyful.
The time to jingle those bells. Bring it down.
What?
Let's go. Bring it.
Yeah.
Bring it down.
Yep.
All right. So do you have any announcements, Jairus?
My announcement is right now on the episode, John is going to announce the announcements.
That's right. If you are listening to this, it means that you like to listen to us. So since you like it so much, maybe your friends or your family will like it too. You should totally share this podcast with your friends and family, and maybe strangers that you just happen to know on the internet. So share the podcast, like the episodes, and comment. If you're listening on Spotify has a great commenting section underneath each episode, and we read them. We read every single one, and we try to respond to them.
Let me tell you how much we read these. My wife, being the great woman that she is,
Shout out.
has compiled all of the previous episodes' comments and has put them all in order with all kinds of different information for us into a spreadsheet. So she is making sure that we don't miss any comments.
Yeah. So all that to say,
We are able to see all your comments. We are here and we're listening and we want to interact. We want to interact so much that we are going to actually backpedal a bit into a bonus episode soon where we go over all our comments.
Yeah.
Just so that you know that we are listening.
We're going to shout out whatever your name is that's left on the commenting, and we're going to read your comment, and we're going to respond to it, and we're going to tell you that we love you every single time.
Every time. Even if it's a negative comment.
Yeah. So do that. Share the episode, like it, subscribe if you haven't, leave a review. That's another big thing.
A big thing for sure.
Love those reviews, you guys. You guys are doing awesome so far. And shout out to everybody. Well, maybe it's just one person, but shout out to Hong Kong. We love you.
Yes, we love you.
Thanks for coming back and listening to some more episodes.
So they did. So they listened to some and they're coming back.
And Singapore. Whoever you are in Singapore who's listening to the podcast, we love you.
We love you.
Thank you for listening.
I'm telling you, I cannot wait till we get big in Hong Kong and Singapore and we can go on for a Hong Kong and Singapore tour. The Singapore tour.
Even if we never get big, if whoever is in Hong Kong and Singapore, if you're coming back and listening to multiple episodes, if you hear this episode, comment, reach out to us so that we know how to reach out to you, and we'll be in touch with you. We love you. We want to build a community with our listeners. So, the only way we can build a community with you guys is if you comment so that we can respond to them.
We want that conversation.
Yeah.
And also, if you happen to be in town, John said you can sleep on his floor.
Yep. Well, couch. I won't make you go on the floor.
The floor will be in the cold basement, but yeah, you'll be on the couch.
Yeah, you'll be put up. Anyways, so that's it. Just
that's the announcements.
That's the announcements. And then also, if you need any prayer, message us. You can reach out to us through the website. You can reach out to us through the texting option at the bottom of the episode. There's a link you can click. You can reach out to us via Facebook or Instagram or Threads or X. We're on all of it.
Or email. Did you say email?
Or email, yeah.
Or email, which is
saintsthatserve@gmail.com.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. So that's all I've got. So now we're ready to get into
our first topic.
And you
know what we do when we move on from the announcements to the first topic.
We transition, our Tyler transition.
So, Tyler,
this is your transition.
This is your transition.
So most of tonight's episode is going to be talking about theme parks and our recent trips. But before we get into that, I'm going to read this article.
Yeah. So right before we got started, John, like right before I clicked record, John was like, "What is this nonsense?" So go ahead and read this.
All right.
So we're untransitioning. And then we'll transition back into the topic after John reads this.
So, yeah, I'm not going to read the whole thing.
He's reading word for word.
I'm going to read word for word the beginning of this article.
The first sentence of the article.
Okay, first sentence. If you're looking for an energy solution, might I suggest going to Oxford, UK, where I'm sure C.S. Lewis is spinning in his grave fast enough to sustain the entire British electric grid. And this article is about comments made about the new Narnia movies that are in production. So Greta Gerwig's Narnia film begins filming in July 2025. It's a very new take. It's all about rock and roll, says Amy Pascal. That's the source, and that was on the art, or the people were discussing films on X, I guess.
So essentially it is what they love to do in Hollywood right now, which is take something that didn't need to be remade and remake it to be super inclusive unnecessarily.
Just what every Lewis and Narnia fanatic is looking for. A new rock and roll. Take on the magician's nephew.
Is that a comment or did you just say that?
No, that's on the thing. A new rock and roll take on the magician's nephew.
Are they making the magician's nephew?
I don't know which ones they're making. I actually know very little about this new launch of the movies, but...
Hey, at least we have the originals.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means. Rock and roll take? Are they going to do a rock opera?
Or is it metaphorically like we're going to go hard and heavy, rock and roll, we're going to be changing so much, like some nonsense like that?
Are they trying to do the kids' Game of Thrones? Is that what they're trying to do, maybe?
Who, you said Amy Pascal, right?
Yeah.
Well, is that Pascal's child or something like that? The guy from Game of Thrones?
Is Pedro Pascal in Game of Thrones?
Yeah. That's like the first thing I ever saw him in.
Now I got to look up Amy Pascal. She does not look like she's young enough to be his daughter.
She is most definitely a director. Yeah, that's not a child.
Well, no, Amy Pascal is I think she's the producer.
What else has she produced?
An American film producer and business executive, she served as the chairperson of the Motion Pictures Group of Sony Pictures Entertainment and chairperson of SPE, including Sony Pictures Television from 2006 until 2015.
Okay, here we go. She produced the 2016 Ghostbusters. I believe that's the full female cast one. But bringing it back, Spider-Man Homecoming, she produced.
Looks like she's done a lot of Spider-Mans.
She produced all of she did Venom. Well, but
that's just because she's a part of Sony.
That's what it is. She produced all of the Sony movies. So, yeah. So maybe not terrible. We'll find out. Yeah, there's nothing on here that screams that it's a terrible choice that she's producing, but producers never really make too many choices in movies. You know, like it's like if I said, here's like $40, go fund a handyman job. And then I take all the credit for the work you do at the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know the real concern that people had was the lady directing the Narnia movies is the same director from Barbie and the Snow White movie that hasn't even dropped yet.
I will say Barbie is not the worst movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But I can tell you right now that Snow White movie will be the worst movie I ever saw.
I'm looking at the different movies that she's had a hand in.
The director or the producer?
The director.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one
is a feminist type movie.
Is a woman movie. Like the focus is on women.
That's what I will say about Barbie was well written. I laughed in some parts, but it was very much
A girl movie?
A girl empowering feminist-esque movie.
Yeah. So
I feel like it might have worked because it was in that particular movie because it's Barbie. But when you try to do that with other stuff, it's not going to work. It's almost more like it's just a fluke that Barbie worked.
maybe it'll be good. I don't know. My concern is that Narnia is a kid's book series.
A kid's book based
It
written by a Christian man having Christian themes into a fantasy world.
Correct.
And they're going to take all of that out. They're going to make it adult. They're going to take God out of it.
Yeah.
And all this other stuff. I mean, this is all speculation, obviously, but it's just like, it's going to lose its point and its magic.
Well, the God stuff wasn't really heavy in the other movie series either that they did, but it still kind of towed the line as a kid's movie, right? So that's the big thing is like, this needs to be, remember, it doesn't need a new take. It needs to be focused on kids.
Yeah.
And what will entertain them, you know?
Yeah, that's probably part of the problem, right? Is they're not going to try to make this for kids. They're going to make this for the adults who first initially watched the first Narnia films.
Whoever directed How to Train Your Dragon should be directing Chronicles of Narnia.
Again, and so when we say kids' movies, I feel more like the better phrase would be a family film, a movie that all members of the family can watch and enjoy.
Yeah.
And How to Train Your Dragon's that way, in the same way with the original Narnia. So, but I feel like it's either they go all in on super over kiddie, and parents are not going to enjoy watching it with their children.
Yeah.
Like a Cocomelon type situation. Or it's going to be overly hyper violent and your kids shouldn't be watching it at all. And it's meant for adults.
Yeah. Do you know who Dean DeBlois is?
Never heard of her.
Yeah,
no, that was the joke.
Is a Canadian writer, director, and producer known best for having co-written and co-directed Disney's Lilo and Stitch.
The original or this new?
The original, 2002.
Okay.
And DreamWorks' How to Train Your Dragon.
Get that guy out there.
He is directing, and that was the original cartoon.
Yeah.
He's directing the live action.
Okay, I have faith in it then.
So that guy, not to say guys are better at directing than girls, but like look at good kids movies and pull directors from those good kid movies.
Don't try to have these directors out there that are trying to make a statement and stand for something. Like, you're making a movie, just make the movie. I don't need to hear the opinion of the director. You know what I mean?
Well, that's my thing is like, it's nothing against the Greta Gerwig lady, because she's made movies that have
made money
and people have liked them. But the theme is her audience, her target audience is women.
Right.
And the Chronicles of Narnia series, the target audience is kids. So I don't have big faith in it, since she's not really doing movies with a target audience for kids. I mean, even the Snow White live action that
there is so many problems with that movie already, and it's nowhere even close to coming out yet.
Did you see that they got so much backlash about the 7 special people?
Yeah, it wasn't 7 dwarfs initially. It was Snow White and the 7 people, like you said. And they cast just normal people, and there was so much backlash that they went back and retroactively CG'd dwarfs into the movie.
Yeah.
And there's like, you can go in, it's just such a chaotic situation with that film right now.
Yeah.
Just with the things that like the actresses are saying outside, and everybody's just like, I'm not going to go see this. Like, there's no way I'm going to go see this.
But that's what's beautiful about the beautiful side of the internet is that
they are powerful enough to make change.
The audience can truly like give input now to what the movie's going to be.
The best case example, and people always go back to this. Did you see the original design for Sonic the Hedgehog before it came out? He had a smile and a teeth and the weirdest looking face.
Yep.
And they fixed that, like, because of the backlash. They pushed that movie back like a year.
Yeah.
They fixed all of that. And that's some of the best video game live action movies you can see. The third one comes out really soon, and me and my wife are going to go see it.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Did we last week?
Well, we talked about Jim Carrey. It wasn't last week, but recently we've talked about Jim Carrey and how he's retired from Hollywood, except
to come back to play Robotnik.
Yeah.
Or Eggman, however you want to put it.
Eggman.
Eggman. So, anyways. Okay, Tyler, this is your transition into the actual topic now.
Yeah. So now we're going to talk about Disney parks.
And now, our feature presentation.
In general.
All right. Tell me all about your trip to Disneyland.
The Disneyland. Me and my wife took a really quick planned trip to Disneyland.
My wife.
And so flew to California.
California.
And I will say this. And so usually I have a lot of crazy stories to tell when I go somewhere and then come back.
Yeah.
And I was telling Ashley, my wife, that it was such a smooth trip going. Nothing crazy happened. No wacky nonsense, nothing like that. It was such a nice, smooth, stress-free trip.
Yeah.
I did tell you this, though. So for our honeymoon this year, we went to Japan for 2 weeks, and taking the flights out of it, just staying there, right, and activities, it cost more to stay in California for a week and do things than it did to be in Japan for 2 weeks.
And that's not including the flights to and back from California. It's just what it costs.
What it costs to stay and activities and travel and food versus 2 weeks in Japan and California.
Okay.
1 week in California.
Gotcha.
So it's just like, it's so crazy.
California
is
the most expensive country in the world.
It really is, like, no joke. Like, it is so incredibly overpriced. Like, just to go anywhere, because you had to take an Uber to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It was like $50 to $60 just one way to go anywhere.
Wow.
And it's like, Japan has it so together that, like, they have buses, but their main form of transportation around the entire country is by train. And it's so efficient and cheap. It's like $1 to travel somewhere by train.
I think that the mushroom guy that came on Joe Rogan, he talked about that, how like the Japanese, they took a fungus in spores and implanted it into a grid of the city. And originally, like, it was kind of following the original directions for the trains, and it was all kind of combobulated and messed up and stuff. But then the fungus corrected itself and made a more efficient way to travel outwards from the starting point. And then they based their grid off of what the fungus did.
And this is a model of the grid of the city, and then they built upon that.
And then they built their train system upon what the fungus did.
That makes a lot of sense.
To move itself through the grid of the city.
Mm-hmm. Again, and then food, Tokyo Disney. I had meals there were $8 a meal at a theme park. So it's like, and then you go to a theme park and it's like $30 to $40 in the States for a meal at a theme park. And it's like, I'm getting off of a bit of a tangent here, but it's just like, Japan is incredible. I watch videos on Japan and just be like, I'm ready to go back.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go back right now.
I remember back in 2012, I was doing my YWAM stuff, and a couple of the students that were there for my school were from Norway.
Mm-hmm.
And I became good friends with, I was good friends with everybody, but one of the girls I was good friends with, she was telling me that, like, in Norway, and this is 2012, when a like McDouble at McDonald's is like $4.
I was going to say like $1 or $2.
No, a McDouble?
Yeah, it was like $1 or $2.
Or I'm sorry. A Big Mac.
Big Mac, okay.
Not a McDouble. A Big Mac was like $4. Okay. just the burger.
Mhm.
But in Norway, it was $15. And she was like, but everybody's so rich, it doesn't matter.
In Norway, everybody's
Norway.
rich and they pay. That doesn't sound like having wealth to me. It's like, it's just,
Well, but that's what I'm saying. It's like everyone's so rich over there that like a $15 burger is cheap. Like that's a cheap burger to Norwegians.
sure. But then to me, it's just like, then that just means that the value of your money isn't as big, if that makes sense.
Well, I think that's why they're all so rich, is because their money was actually backed by like resources compared to
Okay.
American money.
Which is based off of
Thin air.
promises and air.
I promise that this will be worth something.
So anyways, yeah, went to California, while we were there, went to Disneyland, and they have a park next to it as well called California Adventure. And while we were there, we also went to Universal Studios.
Universal Studios. I don't have a Universal button. That's why I did that.
Oh. Dun, 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 dun. Bum, bum.
Here, I think I got something comparable. You went to Universal?
Oh. So
This is a Disney household.
So right now I'll already say it because you went on your trip to Florida.
Correctamundo.
And you went to the Disney parks and the Universal Park in Florida.
Why would you rat me out like that? Yeah, no, we went to.
Well, I'm saying that to make a point.
We went to both parks. We went, Island Adventure and Universal Studios.
It's better in Florida. It is. It's really cool how it's set up. It's really convenient, I guess, based off of where we were staying at. So where Disney World is a whole bubble, it's on a resort on a massive property, and it's all Disney property, and you're in that bubble, and you have your transportation to all the different parks and all the resorts, and even if you stay off a property, it's still fairly easy to get there and become part of the Disney bubble. And in California, it's like Six Flags.
Oh.
In not in the sense of quality, but in the sense of it's a local theme park.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
You should have prepped that. You should have a
Do you
sound.
remember the old guy for that? More flags, more fun.
Yeah, you know there's a woman dressed up as an old man.
I did know that. Yeah.
Yep.
Did you know, fun fact, that the hotel that is down the street from Six Flags Atlanta, project manager for that build was my dad.
Really?
Yeah. He oversaw the construction of that hotel.
Is that the one next to that near the Wendy's that you drive by?
Yeah, I think so.
I work right there.
Yeah.
I drive by that all the time.
But every single time we get on to I-20, which goes right by Six Flags for those who have no idea what I'm talking about. But every time we get on the interstate right there, I always bring it up. I'm like, you see that hotel over there? Yeah, my dad built that.
Yeah. When I'm on I-20, I point my job out to everybody. My wife's just like, I know where you work. Stop. But, so yeah, it's a local park. So I will give it two things, right? It is Disney World condensed.
Okay.
Like you have your main road, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like, well, picture like a block, a huge, massive square property.
Yep.
And you walk out and there's only one way in. That's it. There's only one way in through the main quote unquote gate. Is where the buses come through and whatnot.
Yeah.
That's a street, just as a California street, right there at it. And like hotels and stuff, like right in the middle of Anaheim. And so from our hotel room, we could see the top of, it's not Tower Terror. It is Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout.
Okay.
And so we can see the top of that. They don't attempt to hide anything like Disney World does between their stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just, it's a theme park. It is not the Disney magic that you expect to feel. Like we are eating IHOP, which is just like 2 buildings down from our hotel. And I got a picture of it.
Yeah, I remember you sending it to me.
And it's just the entrance to Disneyland.
Yeah.
But it's like the park, not the park entrance, but the resort entrance.
Yeah.
So every day we walked to the front of the park.
Yeah.
Like it's close enough that we just walked to it. Didn't have to take any buses or anything like that. We walked everywhere.
Yeah.
Right? Like around the park. So what's also cool is when you go in, it's from the entrance, a straight shot. And as you keep going, the first thing you see is Disneyland on the right and California on the left. You can stand there, look to your right, and then look to your left, and you're seeing two different theme park entrances.
Kind of like Island Adventure in Universal.
Kind of like Island Adventure at Universal Studios in Florida, but significantly closer.
Oh, I'm in California. Oh, I'm in Disneyland. Oh,
Kind of. So then if you keep walking, right, past all that, that's their quote-unquote downtown Disney. So they have their shopping district. Again, very condensed, but it's all still there.
Yeah.
So we went to California Adventure, and it had, again, the greatest hits almost. Soarin' is there. They had Tower of Terror, but now it's Avengers Campus. And I think Cars Land. So it's really, there is a few unique stuff there.
Yeah.
But for the most part, that's also where they stick. Like, that's where Mickey's Phil Our Magic is.
Do they have Living with the Land?
They don't have Living with the Wind. That's why Epcot's better.
You would think that they would, since it's California, and they're all about organic, all this stuff. Because they got a lot of, like, really strict regulations in California.
Mm-hmm. So they had Cars Land, Avengers Campus, and I'm blanking because I think that's it. California Adventure is about probably the size of Hollywood Studios. Okay. And then the next day we went to Disneyland, which is the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
Plus, over there on their side, it's Magic Kingdom and Star Wars Land.
Star Wars, is that what they call it? Star Wars Land?
Galaxy's Edge.
Okay. All right. I was going to say, that's pretty depressing if that's what they call it.
Yeah. They don't even call it what it's supposed to be called. It's Star Wars Land. So, and then it's like the same traditional layout of Magic Kingdom, Future Land, Tomorrowland, Fantasyland. They have Toontown there, which they don't have in Florida.
Yeah.
And then they have, you kind of loop around and it's Frontierland and Adventureland. And it's funny because Frontierland and Adventureland's entrances are side by side, touching each other.
Yeah.
And you just go through and it's like, I think it's Adventureland is like just one little aisle that then ends up merging into the same walkway that is Frontierland.
Okay. Yeah.
And so it's, again, and then you can't take more than, 50 steps and you're at the entrance of a major ride. Everything is really condensed. So like they had Jungle Cruise right next to Indiana Jones, which is a few steps away from Pirates of the Caribbean, which is right over there next to Haunted Mansion.
Oh, wow.
And so, and then, you get the idea. It's very condensed.
Yeah.
And I guess because I grew up around Disney World, I prefer the more spread out feeling of Disney World.
Yeah, Disney World is large.
It's large with 4 parks and a shopping district and 2 water parks, and it's huge.
Yeah, and then they've got like 3 or 4 resorts, and then they've also got private like communities too.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, it's a massive, massive place.
Mm-hmm. Overall, I will say though, I am saying that Disney World is better.
Superior.
It is superior because of how it is laid out and how you're able to go to other places. Yes, it ends up being more expensive for sure because you have to go to more places to do all the experiences, but it just makes for a better, longer vacation.
Yeah.
With that being said, 3 experiences that I did there that were far better than Disney World's.
Okay.
Pirates of the Caribbean is about 10 minutes longer.
Really?
Yeah. So there at Disneyland, you go through like a bayou. The cave is significantly longer before you drop into the main ride.
Uh-huh.
And then at the end, there's extended stuff that is not at Disney World at all. So it is by far the more superior version. I will say it there right now.
Did you get the actual Johnny Depp Captain Jack Sparrow experience?
Yes, he is there.
No, but like, have you seen the video where...
Oh, I think they only ever do that at Disney World, when they did do that.
Oh, really?
When he was there. I think that might have been at World and not Land. I could be wrong.
Okay.
So something else, Haunted Mansion is one of my favorite rides there. just from, I think I've talked about this before, but from the point of view of effects and just the techniques they use to create these illusions in this ride.
Okay. Yep.
I've always really enjoyed the Haunted Mansion. So Disney World, because of the nature of it being less about being a local park and more of a lot of people travel there and stay there, they typically don't do special event rides that Disneyland does. So they'll do like special overlays and changes and special little things for rides.
Yeah.
So like, for an example, Mission Breakout, during Halloween, actually they will do Mission Breakout. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but it's the same ride, but it's a sequel to the ride that is there.
Okay.
So in the story of the ride, is Rocket Raccoon breaking out of prison, all of the other Guardians.
Yeah.
And it's in the collector's museum.
Okay.
And so in the story of it is during Halloween at night, they have the monsters that were also broken out when you broke out the Guardians are now loose in the collector's museum, and Rocket has to go back because he forgot something. And so it's more scary because there's monsters jumping out and whatnot, but it's a Halloween themed sequel to a ride that is the normal ride during the day.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that is really cool to me. We went during more Christmas time, so we didn't get to do that or anything.
Yeah.
But to say that, they have, for about 3 months, they have Haunted Mansion Holiday, where they take the entire ride and overlay it with Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh.
That was the coolest thing to see different about a ride that I very much love, and seeing something new about it. And it's just all the characters of Nightmare Before Christmas were animatronics there. So like, if you're familiar with the ride, the part where the caretaker is standing there with his dog, they replace him with a Jack Skellington animatronic.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth. So that was really fun. And then Space Mountain is the most intense thing I've ever ridden there.
Really?
It is so much faster, so much more intense of a ride. It was incredible. It was like I was like, this is like the first time ever riding Space Mountain. It's different. It's different in the way that it presents itself. It's almost practically Space Mountain in name, and that's it.
Yeah, we didn't get to ride Space Mountain this time around when we went. But yeah, is that your entire experience, or do you want to keep going?
So let's do this. So that was my Disney experience.
Okay.
Let's hear your Disney experience.
Okay.
I don't think you went to Disney first, though, did you, on your trip?
We went, so we were there for a week. We went to Universal Studios the first day. Then we went to Epcot. And then the third day was kind of a down day. So I stayed home with our youngest because he decided to go puke, poop, poop. And so we couldn't go to a park. So the older two went with my wife and my in-laws to check out the holiday decorations at the resorts. And then went to Disney Springs.
Gotcha. The free thing.
The free stuff. Yep. But they did stuff like when they went to the Polynesian, they had like a s'mores set up at the beachfront.
Oh, I should have gone into that real quick. I'm going to go into that real quick. There were holiday decorations around the park.
Yeah.
But it didn't really feel like it was Christmas. And it's because we went before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So they probably had the decorations out, but they weren't probably doing any real true holiday-esque stuff yet because it wasn't the holiday season. It was like, I think it was maybe a couple of weeks after they had just taken down the Halloween stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
Actually, no, I think it was probably the week after Halloween had ended. I believe so. Yeah.
They normally do like a ceremony. They just switch on over.
Yeah. So like, it's just like they weren't really playing Christmas music. It's just everything was decorated Christmas.
Yeah.
So I didn't really get the Christmas vibe in the air, if that makes sense.
It wasn't in the air. I got you.
So they were decorated for Christmas, but they really weren't doing Christmas yet.
Yeah. Yeah. So then Thursday we went to Islands of Adventure, and then Friday was Magic Kingdom. And then Saturday was another down day, but my wife and I and the younger two went back to Universal Studios and hung out for the day. And then we came home on Sunday.
Yeah. And didn't you tell me that y'all drove there?
Yeah, we drove there.
And because you went right after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we literally left the Sunday after Thanksgiving, and apparently everyone else who came up north for Thanksgiving had the same idea and was driving back on Sunday.
So for us, it's about a maybe 7-hour drive-ish.
Normally, to get down there, it's like 6.5 to 7 hours. It took us almost 11 hours to get there.
That is insane.
And it was so dumb because it was like, we made it through Atlanta, no problem. Then we get down to Stockbridge, gridlock. It just stopped. And we sat and would move a couple of feet and then sit for 5 minutes and then move a couple of feet. And it was like that for like 45 minutes till we finally got the breakaway. And like sometimes it was accidents and sometimes it was just
nothing.
It was just backed up that bad. And we ran into that like 3 different times on the way down, never near any major city, just randomly on the interstate. It would be backed up real bad because of an accident or just because of people slowing down for some reason.
I always this is a joke, by the way, but it's always gets on my nerves where it's like you said, you're sitting there and then you're in traffic and it's just, you're not moving forever. And you're like, somebody better be dead. Yeah. And you get up there and it's for no reason at all. It's just stopped. Like there's nothing blocking anything. It's just for no reason at all stopped.
Yeah. There's no, and that's the other thing for me. This is a pet peeve of mine is whenever there's an accident, especially on the highway or the interstate,
everybody wants to see.
Everyone slows down when they get in view of the accident because they want to see it. And so that's what makes it go by even slower is everyone just slowing down once they get there. It was frustrating. But anyways, Disney experience, it was fun. Our first Disney park was Epcot. So we got there and actually my brother, my older brother was there with his wife and his daughter and his in-laws, and they were at Epcot the same day as us. So we did a lot of rides together.
So you're being vague because you don't want to say his name.
Yep.
But I saw the picture, so I know who it is.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, but we went. Yeah, so we did several things together at Epcot, and that was really fun. But our favorite ride is Living with the Land. My wife and I.
We last time we went to Epcot, I rode that for the first time as an adult. I know I had it as a kid, but I don't have any memory of it.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is this actually really good?
Yeah.
Well, that makes no sense why it's good.
It's because of the immersion of reality. They've got the actual permaculture and aquaponics and hydroponics and all of it operating and functioning in the ride.
It's not for show. It is actually, they are growing stuff and they are utilizing the stuff they are growing there in the park. Yeah. I think the illusion of that ride is that, this is where all the food comes from. No, it is a working greenhouse.
Yeah.
But it is one of a few actual working greenhouses. One is for show for you to go through and see, but they do have other greenhouses they actually are growing food from as well.
Yeah. And that's another thing to add on to that. The Disney parks have, several greenhouses and stuff that they're growing stuff in.
And all that food goes back into the food prep for their restaurants. And that's the Disney logic and the Disney thinking that saves them money.
Yeah. Yep. So that was our top ride probably. We did a couple other things. We did the Finding Nemo ride and then hung out in the aquarium for a little bit. The big one for the kids, well, I don't know if they liked it, but everyone was hyping it up for them, was the Frozen ride in Norway.
Oh my gosh.
So
it's,
the downside was we went on the Three Caballeros ride in Mexico and half of the ride was missing the audio.
Jeez.
when we went through.
I rode that also for the first time when I went to Epcot last.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I don't know. I
didn't like it because the audio was missing.
I didn't like it because it just felt like all the integration with all the neat stuff they were trying to do was just flat screens.
Oh, yeah, because they were just showing different parts of the movie.
Yeah. But that's opinion there. If they'd have had they only have like the 3 animatronics at the end of the ride.
Yeah.
So if they would have integrated more stuff into it, I think it used to be just a Mexican pavilion ride, and they Disneyfied it by putting some characters into it.
Well, have you seen the movie?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm aware of the movie.
Okay. We're happy and slappy. Anyways, but they had like holiday themed food and drinks in the world tour. So we stopped for a couple of different of those. In China, they had
Hong Kong?
Is it Hong Kong? Yeah, it's Hong Kong. Yeah.
Well, hey, guys, thanks for listening in Hong Kong.
Thanks, Hong Kong. Thank you. Because there is a Disney in Hong Kong.
Yes.
Actually, we went and we toured in the pavilion that shows you the different parks that are in Hong Kong that are Disney and stuff.
I saw that too.
It's pretty cool. But yeah, they had a Year of the Dragon fruit ale, I think is what it was. I think it was an ale. It was pretty good. But it was specifically, it was, for the Chinese New Year, I guess, for Year of the Dragon. But have you ever looked into what animal you are?
I'm a horse.
Are you confident you're a horse?
100% I'm a horse.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I will say, though, is I don't believe in all the whole astrology nonsense, moon, garbage, sun, spirit, whatever that is. But I do know I'm a horse.
Because we did it. We got to talking about it, and we decided to look up everybody's different ones, and we just thought it was funny. All the different because when you look at like it's the animal, then it's like it's like, oh, you're a pig. But it doesn't mean
no. It's fun to look at, but like getting into it, it's like when you sit there and you really put stock into it, that becomes moon readings, and it's witchcraft.
Well, yeah, when you're like you embody it as your part of your identity. Yeah, I get that. But
it is fun to like have a animal associated with you.
Well, and it's one of those things where it's like,
unless you're the rat,
some of it is kind of spot on. So it's kind of weird how it lines up a little bit, and you're like, well, that's kind of weird.
It's because it's vague. It's very vague statements that anybody could attach to themselves.
I guess. Maybe.
That's why it's so eerie. It's like, oh, you're a horse? It says here you breathe air.
The horse breathes air. Oh, I breathe air. Yeah. Now I'm over here looking at the zodiacs. All right. Anyways. So, so that was it. We tried to hit some of the food that we really wanted to try out for Epcot. And then when we did Magic Kingdom, it was exciting because that was a roller coaster for my youngest. That was his first roller coaster ride.
That was the Barnstormer, right?
Barnstormer. Yeah.
No, I put him on Tron.
Yeah, Tron. No, but it was his first roller coaster ride. He had fun. He knew what to do. When we were going up the first hill, he was going, whee! He has his hands up in the air. It was really cute. But yeah, and then we did all the other kind of like core, I guess you'd say like core rides. So
like Peter Pan,
Dumbo. We did the Buzz Lightyear. What's it called?
Space Ranger Spin.
Yes. Yeah. Pirates of the Caribbean, Jungle Cruise, Aladdin's Magic Carpet. We did the teacups, the carousel. It's a Small World.
I will say they have It's a Small World at Disneyland. They had it closed for refurbishments while we were there.
I will. Okay, so I do want to bring this up. It's not just one park, but across all the parks for Universal and Disney World, there were a lot more rides that had malfunctions or it had things that were in disarray that needed repair.
Mm-hmm.
It was like because I mean, Disney World normally
is pretty spot on.
You step into another room. We talk about the bubble. You step into something else, and it's just immersion. They're trying to get that sweet spot of like a magical experience. So, but it kind of took away from the immersion, like noticing, several magic carpets are out of commission.
Yeah.
Or, it's like there's an insane amount of popcorn all across the sidewalk all the time.
Yeah.
So, it's just little things like that. That's kind of like, oh, the park's kind of gone downhill a little bit.
Just a little bit. Yeah. I will say that because like there were several instances. It happened at least 4 times where we would be getting into a line for something. Actually, the ride shut down. Please leave the line.
Yeah, we ran into that several times where it was like, yeah, the ride shut down. We don't know when it'll be back up. When we got on to Peter Pan, it came to a stop for like 5 to 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. Not like a stop like like a handicapped person could load on or something like that.
Yeah, it was
a
down.
Yeah, it was down while we were on it. So, but that's okay. We still had fun. And we went on Winnie the Pooh as well.
Yeah. Which used to be Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, which still exists in Disneyland. And I wrote it.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
You know what's crazy about
Wind in the Willows, Mr. Toad?
Do I?
Like Wind in the Willows, Mr. Toad?
I think so. I think it was like a combo movie you could buy. It was Mr. Toad's Adventure and then Ichabod, like the Sleepy Hollow.
Crane, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was Wind in the Willows and the Ichabod Crane.
Gotcha.
I think.
So do you want to know something that is wild about that ride, pun intended?
Yes.
So we were in line for it. I knew what the thing is with the ride, right? I knew what's crazy about it, quote unquote crazy. So when we're getting on the ride, guy turns around, looks at his buddies and says, "I'll see you in hell." And he screams it at everybody. And Ashley was looking at me like, "What? Why did he say that?" And I said, "Give it a minute." In the middle of the ride, you're in a car, you have a car accident, and you go to hell.
What?
Yeah. It is insane. I knew about it. Ashley didn't. And it's like, it's one of those really weird Disney old things where it's like in the movie, actually, I think it doesn't even happen in the movie, but for some reason, like you're in a car, you're driving down the streets and things are popping out and all this stuff. And just randomly you are in a car accident, hit by something. And then for the last portion of the ride, you go through hell.
That sounds like the premise from like a tribulation trail.
Yeah.
Like church would put on.
Yeah. Right.
What the heck?
I'm just like it was interesting to do a Disney thing I've never done before, but I'm just like, I don't think I'm ever going to get on this again if I even came back to Disneyland.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to bring up is Disney. I was looking at just the webpage, like the first search you do for Disney park tickets.
Mm-hmm.
So Disneyland in California, depending on the day and time, the ticket's anywhere from $103 to $206. And then at Disney World, just generally a day pass is $119.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's insane because Disney World is huge.
Yeah.
Like you would think that it would be more expensive to go to Disney World than to Disneyland. But because of the geographical location,
it costs
California
more
compared to Orlando.
So I would like to continue my trip.
Okay.
Because I want to kind of touch on that a little bit.
Okay.
So on our second point, and so we stayed about a week and we did other California things besides going to theme parks.
Yeah.
Like we went and did like Hollywood tours and we went to the Warner Brothers studios and did a studio tour there. They were currently, while we were there, they were filming the second season of Fallout.
Okay.
And just a bunch of other stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So, so on our last day, we went to Universal.
Okay.
And so Universal Studios there is one park. It's not anything extra.
Okay.
And it's also a portion of it is a working movie studio.
Ooh.
So we had went and did like a van tour around the Beverly Hills and looked at famous people's houses. No, we didn't see any famous people. Most of the only thing we saw that was closest to being a famous person was the guy pointed out, that's Drew Carey's house. Oh, that's his car. He's home. Wow. So we drove by Drew Carey's house while he was home. It was a bit of a waste of money, but
I was going to say, you know what's sad about that is I feel like you could do that for free here in Atlanta.
Yeah. Because you could probably see way more famous people in Atlanta because they'll actually be out here working and not in their house.
Well, yeah, they'll be out and about doing stuff. Yeah.
So we did that, and that ended about 1:00, and we were relatively close to Universal. And I told Ashley, I was like, let's go to Universal. And just, we looked at it, and it was 1:00, and they close at 7, which is wild to me on a Friday night, but whatever.
Well, did they have an event going on afterwards?
No, it's just the park closes.
Oh.
Yep, 7:00. So I said, let's go do what we can. There's a couple of very unique things strictly to there, like they have the Waterworld stage show.
Yeah.
Like action stunt show based off of the 1998 movie, whatever year it came out. I really hope I'm right on 98. We'll look later. But fun fact about that movie, that was like one of Jack Black's first movies.
Wait, which one?
Waterworld.
Waterworld
was like a minion type character.
Okay, so like his face is covered up and you don't even realize.
No, you can tell it's Jack Black. It's just like he's like a minor character who dies like in a plane accident pretty early on in the movie.
Okay, now I gotta look it up.
But anyways, so, they had a Waterworld stunt show, and then they have their backlot tour that allows you to go through, actually see the studio stuff. And then also they'll have like little attractions as well, like a mini Jaws thing, and then some other stuff like that.
Okay.
So we did those two things, and then we said, all right, now let's start doing rides. We did all of the parks rides, and we're done by 6:00.
Oh, wow.
So, and what's crazy is when we were buying our ticket, the lady was like, would you like to buy Express Pass? It's only $300 a person. And so it was like, that's the point I was trying to make, is like, why is it so much? And it nobody was there.
Yeah.
Like, that's really what it came down to. It is like, we didn't have to wait in line for anything. So when we went to Universal in Japan, they have the Mario Land there.
Okay.
We waited like an hour and 45 minutes for the Mario Kart ride. And we practically walked onto it here in California. The same ride. So, like, it was really nice seeing that land and it not being packed, because it was packed in Japan.
Yeah, I just looked at a picture of Jack Black as the Smokey plane pilot. I don't have it up anymore, sorry. It looks nothing like Jack Black.
That is Jack Black.
But it's Jack Black. It's just a young Jack Black.
Yeah, it was like one of the first movies he was in. He was also in a commercial for the movie Pitfall. Not the movie, the video game Pitfall. And he's a kid.
Really?
Yep.
Well, you know the whole story about Jack Black's parents, right?
What is it?
They're like super smart. Like they participated in the rocket launch.
Oh, really? That's crazy.
Yeah. Like, I think that the story was like his mom like helped get America onto the moon, and then she went into labor with Jack Black.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So I may be butchering that story, but it is along that.
Until we are proven wrong, Jack Black was on the moon.
No. Jack Black's mom
was pregnant with him and on the moon.
No, she didn't go to the moon. She was in a control room at NASA. Anyways, all right, let's pivot to Universal.
Yeah, so real quick, let me finish mine. Really small there. Really, all what you're about to talk about, what you were on, you had more to do at Universal.
Yeah.
The only thing that they had there that's the same ride in Florida, and it's different, is the Mummy.
Yeah.
So the Mummy is what I would say tremendously different in its theming and what you see during the ride, but they're both roller coasters.
Yeah. And so that was my very first time going on the Mummy. My wife and I love the movies. We watch the movies all the time.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, press the button.
Oh, yeah.
Looks to me like you're on the wrong side of the river.
Great quote.
Quote.
Several great quotes from that movie. And so, okay, someone made a reel And it's the scene where Benny, guy who wears the
Benny.
hat. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So you know who Benny is.
I've seen the movie
So
several times.
He's in the like professor-esque archaeologist guy's office, like ransacking it, like throwing stuff around, trying to find the jar. Okay.
Yeah.
And then in the scene, it's him doing that, and then someone overlaid a text, and the text says, "Me trying to get all my spring cleaning done before the guy who throws chairs at me comes." And then in walks Brendan Fraser,
And he picks up
he
the
says,
chair.
"Let me guess, spring cleaning." And then he throws the chair. It's the funniest reel I've ever seen, and it's just a random part of the movie.
I love those like POV things where it's just like adding the text of what's about to happen. And then you watch the movie. For some reason, that is some of the funniest things, even though it's like, you just told me what's about to happen in a movie I've seen 100 times.
Yeah.
It's still so funny.
Dude, it was great. So, but anyways, the ride was good. I got a souvenir.
Yeah, I'm looking right at it. It is a cup,
chalice.
a chalice, and it has Anubis.
It has Anubis on it. Yep. And a bunch of hieroglyphs and stuff. Just a little memento of the ride.
So when you went through it, did you have to wait in line or did you pretty much bypass?
We had a fast pass. Yeah.
So you kind of miss out on a lot of the story going through it.
Yeah.
Which is you are on the set of The Mummy.
Yep.
They're I guess they don't really specify which one they're filming, but I believe it's the second Mummy movie, the one with The Rock as the Scorpion King at the end.
Yeah.
So I believe that's kind of where that takes place in that.
Yeah.
And so like you're on set and they keep talking about, hey, the set's cursed because of the mummy's curse and whatnot.
Yeah.
So they have like this pendant that everybody's supposed to wear to protect them.
Yep.
That is why at the beginning of the ride, the kid is all wrapped up because he got rid of his pendant.
Yeah.
So I was like, I've always like, I want that pendant. That's such a cool thing that they should sell in the gift shop and they don't.
Yeah. Even if we hadn't done the fast pass, like the line wasn't crazy long anyways. So everyone was skipping like half of the TV screens set or, whatever.
Because you go through that first area and the majority of the story they're telling is in that first little set area. Because then you round the corner and all of a sudden you're in Egypt, like an Egyptian tomb type thing.
Yeah.
And they have such cool interactive things you touch and deal with. Like if you put your hand on something, it'll light up the lights a certain way or it'll shoot air at like it's so cool. It's such a cool cue.
Okay, so the funniest thing happened in line. All right. So there's a part in line where there's the wall and it's got the hole for the hand. And it's just a dark hole and you stick your hand in there. Kind of deal, right? So the group in front of us, a girl went to stick her hand in the hole and like her younger brother tried to do a jump scare and go like, huh! And she was like, oh, whatever. And she takes her hand out and walks off. And then he goes to put his hand in and the dad goes, oh! And he goes, oh!
It scared him.
The exact thing he was trying to do to his sister.
Then proceeded to scare.
Oh, it was so funny.
That's funny.
I was like, dude, like, how did you fall for it? But anyways,
by the way, I'm spoiling a lot of the stuff on this ride, so I apologize already in advance if you've never rode a ride from 1999.
Yeah, that was my first time.
Yeah, that's true.
So
that has to me one of the best bait and switch moments in any ride ever.
Yeah.
I legitimately, when I rode that for the first time, was like just so impressed because of how well it surprised me at that point where it's like, thank you for riding the Mummy. JK, I'm going to set the ceiling on fire.
Yeah. Dude, it was a good ride. I was a little off-put a little bit by one of the workers at the very beginning.
Oh, yeah?
Because she was like going hard trying to be convincing that she was like a minion of the Mummy.
Oh, really? Like somebody was really getting into their role?
She was like sitting there. She was doing this movement, like a snake back and forth deal. And she was like checking everybody's
like pull downs.
Yeah. And she like was like, I hope you're ready to not come back. And like saying stuff like that. And my wife and I had themed shirts on.
Uh-huh.
Okay. We had mummy shirts on from the movie. The worker looked at him and she's like, you already know what you're getting into. and I was like, yes, I do. And like,
do you not see my bracelet? My bracelet means I don't want you to talk to me.
Yeah, it was, but
I do wish they had that sometimes. Like, okay, just let me ride the Rise of the Resistance Star Wars ride. I don't need you like treating me like a prisoner, even though that is the experience.
yeah.
Like, I don't need you looking at me and get me in my face and being like, okay, prisoner, we're about to book you. Like, can I just ride the ride, please? Can I just, it's such a cool, immersive experience, but it's like, I don't want to interact with this person pretending to be a space cop. You know what I mean? That's just how I am.
Well, but that's the thing is it was off-putting because there were 3 workers running the everyone buckle down and then we'll launch you off portion. And the other 2 were acting
normal.
They were acting like everyone else at the park, like, I don't want to be here right now.
This is a job. And this other person's like, this is my role.
Yeah, she was like in it. She was like, nothing exists outside of this room. Like that. That's how hard she was going. But I will say that about, because Disney has kind of gone that way with employees. And I got a lot of it at both the Islands of Adventure in Orlando, where it's not like, I'm fine with you just acting normal or whatever. But like, you clearly making it like
I have to be in character when you don't have to be in character.
No, like that's what I'm saying is like someone who's just like, I have to.
Oh, yeah.
That takes away from my experience.
I was going to say is okay, so like the Star Wars land where it's like they're not allowed to even like break character at all.
Yeah.
So it's like, instead of saying credit card, it's like, let me see your credentials, or let me, or would you like me to take a image on your data pad? And like, yeah, you can take a picture with my cell phone. I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? That stuff is kind of silly to me.
Yeah, but they're from a galaxy
far
long ago.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
but again, it's
away.
like breaking character. That, you know, it's like going to the Renaissance Fair and like, I'm having a heart attack. I don't know what a cell phone is to call what you called an ambulance. You know what I mean? Like, it's so goofy. It's fine.
This man carries a demon pad. He wants me to summon the creature from beyond.
But it's like, okay, there is a difference in staying in the character in an area. You don't have to do that. But
yeah,
I want to be here. Make it feel like I should deserve to be here.
Yeah.
More of you deserve my money. Make me feel belonged here. I put so much money into going to these places.
Don't sit here and talk over me to your fellow employee about you're going to schedule a hair appointment later.
Correct.
That happened to us on ET. We were trying to load onto ET and there were 2 employees on either side of the ride for the loading part. And one of them was talking about how I'm going to schedule a hair appointment for me to go get my hair done. And when I come back, everyone's going to be like, wow, look how sharp that person looks. And then this person was commenting on it or whatever. I was like, what are y'all doing? Tell me to buckle in and be safe.
Right?
Like,
okay, again, it's like when I go to, the reason why people enjoy going to Chick-fil-A is not to hear my pleasure. It's to actually know that you're going to be treated
like I exist.
Like you exist,
yeah.
Not be ignored like I'm standing there waiting to place my order, like, and they look at you at other places like, what do you want? Like, what do you think I want?
Read my mind, freak.
Or ask me, like, you know what I mean? Just like treat, like, all I kind of ask for these places, I don't need you to stay in character. Just put a smile on your face and like, help me to create the illusion that my problems in the real world don't exist for a week. You know, it's not hard. You get paid.
Yeah. Chick-fil-A is the Disney World
of fast
food.
It really is. Like, it's as simple as saying when you say thank you and you don't get grunted at. It's easy. Like I don't have to hear my pleasure, but it's like, hey, no problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
Just treat me like a person. Like, I know that you don't want to be there, but like, you know, like, I want $1 million. I don't have it. You know, like, You know what I'm saying? Like, there is different expectations. I know people say like, they don't get paid enough for that. They don't, but Chick-fil-A still enforces it and they have employees. They're not unhappy.
Yeah.
It's like, it's as simple as when nobody's around, like, or when people are around, just, I don't want to hear about your problems.
Yeah.
If I ask, sure, tell me about your problems, but I don't know. It's like one of those weird things where it's like, I think the expectation for decent service has gone out the door.
Yeah.
At places where it's like people that don't want to be at a job have come up with the idea that I can just kind of do whatever or grunt, and just like that gets on my nerves more than anything is when, you're in the middle of service and they just grunt at you. The normal, like, like, look at me like, what do you want? Like, legitimately, like, I go up the counter like, what do you want from me? Like, I want you to take my order.
Yeah.
Like, it's not hard.
Dude, ever since McDonald's rolled out that touchscreen order system inside, like if you try to go up to a register to order, like there's like five to 10 people working back there, and they're all staring at you like, what are you doing? Why are you standing at the counter? We have not done anything for you yet. Back up. Like, that's the energy.
Again, like, okay, and that even better there is, it's a difference in what are you doing versus somebody coming out and giving a quick, nice little, like, actually, if you go over to the pad, you place your order there. Like, if you know what I mean, it's like, oh, what can I do for you? Like, I want to place an order. Oh, yeah, sure. You come over here. Let me help you with that. It's a quick little, like, I would just say a common human decency to treat somebody else, not assuming that they're out there to get you. And like, they're actually might be there.
Well, it's not that though. The mentality is, especially in the fast food industry, is I'm here for the money and the money is not that great. So I'm going to do the bare minimum.
I'm going to do the job. What I think that my current pay warrants me doing.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the bare minimum, and when it's my turn to get off, I am leaving. So that's
and I guess that's the difference between us is like me and you both is like you get paid for you do the job, you get paid, and if you are exemplary, say the word for me.
Exemplary.
Thank you. Then you will then get a promotion. You earn your promotion. You don't get paid. Again, it's the idea that I will work the amount that I think my current pay is worth, not I will work for to earn more money in the future.
That's why I work so hard on my job. So one day I can get
your boss can give you a raise.
So my boss will promote me. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe that's me sounding super boomer-esque, but it's just like, I think it's just like a common, human decency that comes with being, just treat somebody like another person that comes with, I guess, the normal, I just say normalness that you're supposed to treat somebody that comes along with being a Christian. Just treat everybody, like, it's almost like the mentality is treat everybody like they're out to get me. No, treat everybody like they deserve to be treated well.
Yeah.
Whether they do or don't.
Yeah. Yep. So anyways,
theme parks.
Yeah, theme parks. This is my first time going to Universal. So Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios, both were great. We had a good time.
What was your favorite ride out of
The Mummy?
The Mummy, yeah.
The Mummy was my favorite ride.
Second favorite is, I think you said you didn't get on it, but Spider-Man.
No, I did get it.
Oh, you rode Spider-Man.
I rode Spider-Man. Okay, here's the scenario for Spider-Man. Because right behind the entrance to Spider-Man is the Doom, like, slingshot.
I waited
ride.
so long for that ride, and I'm just like, it's such a disappointment for the amount of time I waited for it personally that one time.
But here's the scenario. My middle child, okay, he's young. Like, this was his first year being tall enough
to ride anything.
Most of the rides.
Yeah.
But my wife is like, take him, go to Spider-Man, which I had no idea where it was at because I've never been to the park.
Yeah.
But she's like, take him to Spider-Man. He's got his thing. My sister will meet you there, and my dad will meet you there, and y'all will all go on the Spider-Man ride together. I was like, is he big enough for it? And she's like, yeah, he's tall enough. He can do the ride. I was like, but is he going to be scared? And she's like, no, he'll love it. It'll be great. I'm like, okay. We're walking to the ride. I find it, and I'm walking towards it. and I see the Doom Towers behind, and I assume that that's the Spider-Man ride. Is at one point in the ride you get slingshotted up and down. I was like, he is too young
For a slingshot.
for a slingshot ride.
Spoiler, it's not the right ride.
It's not. No. So when we got in there and I realized, it's like, okay, all right, it's fine. There's
It
no
is a
slingshotting.
Spider-Man ride based off the 90s cartoon.
Yeah.
Spider-Man cartoon.
Yep. So, but it was good. This was his first year, like getting to ride a lot of rides because he was tall enough. And so he had a lot of fun. Most of the rides, he's like covering his eyes or like hiding. And then after the ride, I'm like, did you have a good time? He'll be like, yeah. And every roller coaster that we did, when we got off or when the roller coaster came back in and stopped, I was like, what do you think, buddy? He went, like pretend
Like he's going to throw up.
Oh, I need to throw up. It was funny. But yeah, favorite ride, hands down, the Mummy. We got to do a show it was the Animal Actors Show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you know what I'm talking about.
I've never seen it, but I know what you're talking about.
It was a really funny
Mhm.
because all the animals, it's like all the animals that they get to train for the movies,
Mm-hmm.
they adopt them from local shelters.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. But just seeing like all the different animals run out and do their bits and do their things, it was funny.
So you want to hear something about that?
Yeah.
The rumor is right now they are going to tear down the animal actor stage in Fear Factor and expand out Harry Potter Land. That was the rumor last I heard. And it might be not true now since they're adding Harry Potter to Epic Universe when that opens next year.
Yeah, because I was going to say, because I don't think that the Harry Potter world and Islands of Adventure backs up to that. Because
Oh, no. So did you not go to Harry Potter Land,
Diagon Alley.
Diagon Alley?
Yeah, I went to Diagon Alley, but
So
in between Diagon Alley and the animal area is the
Fear Factor.
Simpsons.
No.
I was just there.
I'm telling you.
I'm telling you because I was just there.
I'm telling you, you need to listen as I pull my phone up to pull up a map.
You have to walk through Simpsons, go over a bridge, and then you...
Animal actor stage is right there. You're right. I'm sorry. Fear Factor goes up
Yeah.
to...
The animal
You're right.
stage
You're right.
is
I'm
at
sorry.
the edge of DreamWorks.
Right.
Yeah. So take that, Cheers.
So, boom, you got me. No, so I was thinking...
Boom, roasted.
Boom, roasted. No, I was thinking that Fear Factor and Animal Actors were side by side, but you're right. Simpsons Land is between.
Yeah. Which we got donuts
Yeah, the
from
big...
the Lord.
Lord. Have you ever watched Simpsons?
Not really.
No. Did you ride the Simpsons while there?
No.
No. That's one of those.
The only ride that I went on that was me, like for me, was the Mummy.
Gotcha.
Every other ride I did, I was with my middle child. I was his buddy.
So the Simpsons, I rode last time I was at Universal to ride rides. I rode that and got sick. I don't get motion sickness at all. So what it is it's a giant IMAX screen.
Yeah.
And they put you in different like cars,
Yeah.
Simpsons cars, but they're all watching the same video like, oh, this is just you. But if you turn your head, you can see all the other people also riding the ride with you at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
I was put, because it's a screen, I was put in the bottom right side, essentially in the corner of the screen, looking up to the left, craning my neck. I got so sick on that.
Mm.
And so I tried it again in California. Same thing, but bottom left. And I'm like, I didn't get sick this time, but I don't enjoy this. As I'm straining my neck, I'm like, this is awful.
Yeah.
So
I do want to, okay, just to clarify my comment, I wasn't trying to like make myself a victim, like, oh, I didn't get to ride any cool rides because I had to ride.
oh no, we knew it.
No, I had a lot of fun,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a lot of fun watching my kid experience different rides.
Yeah,
for the
we
first
are.
time. And to me, that increased like the immersion of the experience of going to the theme park was getting to see your kid experience the ride and enjoy the overall immersion and experience of it. It added joy to the overall, trip. So
we are pretty much at the point now. I mean, you for sure, me in the future of going to theme parks is not going to be for you anymore.
Yeah, it's not. It's for the kids. It's to have fun. Well, okay. For us, when we go to the theme parks, it's for the kids and for my mother-in-law.
Yeah.
Because she's such a sweet lady. She plans the whole trip out for everybody. And so it's like, in my mind, it's like, hey, we're here for her. Whatever she wants to do, like, let's just do that. And let's just have fun doing what she's already planned for us, So I try to have that kind of mentality. The only time I like do any kind of pushback is like if the kids are just done.
Yeah.
Like, hey, like we need to.
We're going to wind this down now.
Yeah. So
I will say for me, when I go to a theme park, I'll ride almost anything.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is. I'll get on the roller coasters.
Just the Ninja.
I'll ride the Ninja. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like I'll break my neck.
I was gonna say, isn't
that's the one that'll give you a migraine by the end. Yeah. It's a lot better now that they redesigned the car and the ride's the same. They redid the track. It's a lot smoother now. It's a lot nicer. But I'll get on anything. I don't like. I have a bit of a sense of acrophobia, so I won't ride the acrophobia because it plays against that fear of falling. I don't mind going up on a roller coaster and down and twist and all that nonsense. I love that.
You don't like dropping?
I don't like the one ride that holds you up there as I'm staring down and then it drops me straight down.
How many times have you rode that? Just once? Acrophobia?
About 5 or 6 times.
Okay. Did you ever do the penny thing?
What's where you put the penny on your thing?
On your stuff, because you start out laying backwards, right?
I thought it tilted you forward.
Yeah, when you go, but when you start out, you get in and you kind of lay like this.
Yeah, you're right.
And anyways, the idea is that you put a penny on your chest or your stomach. And at some point, because of gravity, like you'll get launched. That penny will come up and then shoot off.
No, I've never done that.
Yeah. My dad did it the first time that we went and rode acrophobia.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty gnarly. But anyways.
But yeah, I'll ride just about anything.
Yeah.
My wife will not ride a roller coaster.
Even though she's ridden several roller coasters.
I have, the best way to explain it is as I have tricked her onto some rides. And like at this point, it's just like, it was more me testing waters to see what I think. Because like, I know The Mummy is one of her favorite movies of all time. So it's like,
really?
Yeah. So it's like, let me get you.
I know that.
She loves The Mummy.
Dude, we talk about The Mummy all the time.
Yes.
Why doesn't she put her 2 cents in? What the heck?
I don't know. She will on the comment section on this episode.
Yeah, Ashley, you better start talking about The Mummy when we're all hanging out together.
You got that right.
Jeez.
So I got her onto The Mummy one time.
Yeah.
She hated it so much. But it's really hard to gauge what she's okay with riding because she'll ride Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind.
So
And
she didn't like the Mummy ride.
She didn't like the Mummy ride.
Okay. Yeah, my wife felt genuinely bad.
Because your wife helped me to convince my wife to get on the Mummy.
And then she realized, oh, this is a roller coaster.
After riding it.
Yeah. So, all right, we need to move on from this.
I know. I could really honestly sit here all day and talk about theme park stuff.
What's your least favorite ride out of all theme parks you've been to?
Oh, theme parks?
Parks in general, just all rides, all parks.
Acrophobia.
Acrophobia is...
I don't know. It's just, it makes me feel, I'll ride it, and the drop is fun.
Yeah.
I think I'm okay with that drop moment. It's the anticipation that they sit there and they hold you forever, and you go up really slowly. And
yeah.
Like, I guess a good example opposite of that is, funny enough, Doomfall.
Yeah.
Dr. Doom's Free Fall or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Because you start on the ground.
Yeah.
And they slingshot you up and you up and down. But the problem with that again is I waited about an hour and 30 minutes for a ride that lasted maybe 20 seconds.
Yeah.
So like if acrophobia was on the ground and you went up and then dropped down,
yeah,
I'm okay with that. Same way with Tower of Terror.
Yeah. Because
of the way that ride presents itself, it's not really like a let me hold you up here in anticipation and all that stuff. It's like, okay, just slingshot me up. That's fun. Woo, back up and down. Like, that's fun to me.
Yeah.
But acrophobia, because they hold you in anticipation.
Yeah.
Again, I enjoy the drop. I just don't like the, what's going to happen? Like, when are they going to do it? Because they control when they drop. Like, they'll do a little funny thing over the speaker and everything, and then.
Yeah. Can we just acknowledge, like, we don't take advantage of Six Flags as much as we should.
I want to. It's been
so close.
So you remember the last time I went was when we went with the youth for when we were doing youth group.
That was the last time I went too.
There's so much different there. I would like to go back.
Yeah, we need to make a trip over there. But like, dude, the Goliath.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like a super long roller coaster.
Yeah.
And it's fun. Like it takes you up really high. It takes you for spins and loops.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a roller coaster where you get on it and then 20 seconds later you're getting off.
Yeah, I don't like
those.
It's
an actual like long ride.
Yeah.
And it's good. But anyways, my least favorite is probably at Six Flags. It's the, what's the wooden one? Is it the
Cyclone?
Cyclone?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't like that just because literally the entire ride you're hearing. You're just like, are we going to derail? Are bandits going to ride up on horses and steal our gold?
Oh my gosh.
Like it's, yeah.
We might have to plan a Saints That Serve trip out to Six Flags.
Dude, let's do it. Dude, you know what we can do?
A meet and greet at Six Flags.
Oh, I was going to say, homeschool days.
Oh yeah.
The Six Flags does homeschool days.
Mm-hmm.
So find out whatever day is a homeschool day, it will be less packed. And
just say, my kids are homeschooled. They're not with you, but hey, they're homeschooled. No.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So we're going to move away from this and we're going to move in.
I really could just talk all day.
I know you can't, but I'm forcing you to move.
I know. We're running out of time here.
Tyler, this is your transition. We are moving into the corner. All right, so this one, to go along with our themes of parks, specifically Disney parks, we're going to talk about some Disney conspiracy theories.
Yes.
So Jairus, what's the one for you?
I kind of had a list of them.
Okay.
So can I do just a bunch of mini ones and talk about them quickly?
Sure. Yep.
So like one of the first ones I had is the Disney vault actually a vault? Which I thought was actually a really interesting concept because it's really the question is there really a Disney vault, or is it just kind of like, promotional phrasing and terminology to drive up movie sales?
Yeah.
Because they'll say it all the time is like, buy it now before it's back in the vault, which they probably really don't do that much anymore because we are really getting away from physical media. So it's like, are they going to sit there and say, stream now before it goes back in the vault?
Yeah, get your subscription now while it's out of the vault. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of thing. That'd be crazy. But it's like, no. Like it is. It's in fact just a, marketing ploy to raise up sales, to create the illusion of scarcity.
Yeah.
To make it feel like, you're getting a huge deal when you and the other 4 million people in the who just bought the movie.
Yeah. Well, but think about it this way, because, Peter Jackson for the Lord of the Rings trilogy, that trilogy is actually like, if it had all of everything that he shot and had, put together for the movie, that movie series would be 21 hours long.
And you'd watch it.
Yeah, I would watch it. But like there's entire fight scenes and battles that got cut from the movies.
Sure. And that's different. A director's cut of a movie is not quite the same thing as this movie's special edition will never be seen again. Once it's out, yes, we would buy the 21-hour, Lord of the Rings saga. We would watch it. Like we're about to go see War for the Rohirrim in a couple of days. Like Rohirrim, sorry.
Yeah, but that's my point is like some of these movies they make the story and then the producers are like, you got to cut to this amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And so things get cut. The smart thing that Disney does is it just holds on to all their cut things and they store it in the vault, and then they make it like a
that's the thing though, is like the cut, quote unquote, vault is not cut content. It's the same content that they no longer are selling. It's not like you're getting anything special.
I guess that's true.
It's just get it now before it goes back in the vault. Like it's a special re-release or whatever. And it's like,
Yeah.
it's the same movie you have already. Why are you buying it? Because the case says Diamond Edition on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Okay.
So
is the vault actually a vault?
I'm going to say no. And I think the answer is no.
Yeah.
There's one, I'm skipping over the one of these because I think that's more than likely what yours is.
Okay.
So we're going to go with just a quick one. The giant turkey legs aren't actually made of, the giant turkey legs are actually made of emu meat. So the giant turkey legs they sell in Frontierland
Yeah.
is emu.
Okay.
So do you think that is true or do you think that's false?
I think that's false.
It's false.
Yeah. We got a turkey leg I got 2 turkey legs for my boys at Epcot. They barely ate any of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I was concerned because our youngest that was on Tuesday night, and then Wednesday our youngest wakes up throwing up.
So
I'm like, it's the turkey leg.
No, it's emu.
Yeah. But I mean, because I was like, my stomach's a little upset. Nothing's happening to me, but it is kind of irritated. But then our other son, he ate a turkey leg too, or part of a turkey leg, and he was fine.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing happened to him. So
was it a different turkey leg or was it from the same one?
It was a different one. Okay. So it could have been that specific one, or it could have been that he just ate too much over the entire day. So I don't know. Anyways, okay.
So, and moving on. Yeah, it says that it's just from male turkeys whose legs are quite larger than females' turkeys.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and then I have a few other ones here, but I'm going to go, this is the one I thought was the most interesting.
Okay.
So, are the skeletons in the Pirates of the Caribbean ride real human remains?
I think they are in Disneyland.
So, yeah, pretty much it's not all of them now, but at the time they actually
started the ride.
When they first started the ride, all the human remains were
cadavers.
Cadavers and just bones that they got from the local medical college.
Yeah.
And they were scattered. And over time, they actually returned the remains back to and buried them where they were supposed to go.
Yeah.
Except to this day, there is one actual still remaining human remain.
What is it?
So when you're going through the cave.
I mean, what body part is it?
It's a skull.
Oh, okay.
Because, skull and crossbones.
Gotcha.
So when you're going through the cave, you see a bed with a skeleton on it, and above it, there is a skull and crossbones. That is an actual human skull.
Okay.
And it's only in Disneyland that happened.
Yeah, yeah.
And I saw it.
Crazy, dude.
So it was really cool to see, like, oh, that's a real skull.
Okay.
And it's actually funny enough, when you look at it, it does look a little bit different than all the other skeletons that are kind of rounded at the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So.
Okay, sorry, keep going.
I was going to actually say, can I guess what yours is?
Yeah, go ahead and guess.
Yeah, Walt Disney Frozen.
Oh, yeah, no, that's not the one I was going to talk
about. Oh, really? Okay, so let me talk about that. Is Walt Disney frozen and buried underneath Pirates of the Caribbean?
Okay, do you think it's all of him? Because one conspiracy is that it's his head has been cryo-frozen.
Yeah, no.
For the sake of his brain.
Yeah, no, that's not true.
No, I don't. Yeah, it's not true.
Have you seen, they have a movie. It's like a guerrilla underground movie. They filmed this entire horror movie at Disneyland.
Really?
Yeah. There's I got to find it. What is it called? It's something like The Edge of Tomorrow or something like that.
Edge of Tomorrow? That's not a guerrilla movie.
It's not about guerrilla. I mean, like underground guerrilla, like in the sense
warfare. Underground guerrilla warfare?
No, it's like it's the phrase used to make something in secret.
Oh, okay.
Like underground guerrilla, like secretly, like hiding your hidden cameras and stuff. Where these people went in and bought tickets to Disneyland, brought in their cameras, and secretly filmed a full feature-length film on park property.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the Chris Pratt Edge of Tomorrow on
No,
Prime.
it's like, hold on. I'll tell you what it's, the word tomorrow is in the title.
Okay. Yeah. No, the one I was going to go with was a Reddit conspiracy theory on the movie Encanto.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So the theory is that Maribel, the main character who doesn't have any powers, right?
Uh-huh.
So in the story, like it's her coming of age, whatever. She's in the house and then she doesn't get a door and she doesn't have any powers.
Right.
The conspiracy is that she does have a power. Her power is to rewrite reality. She's a telepath. And she was so scared of having a power that she rewrote the reality to write a door out of her story.
Okay.
So that she would just be normal. And everyone in their town was basically controlled by, it's a Scarlet Witch kind of scenario.
Yeah.
Where it's just she rewrote everyone's memory and everything that happened to where it's like Maribel doesn't have any powers. But her power is the ability to control reality. And so that's the gist of it. I'm not going to get into all
Have you seen why she actually doesn't have powers? You actually can see in the movie
really?
why she doesn't have powers. So the trick is that you hold the candle.
Yeah.
Then you open your door.
Yeah.
The power comes from their magic candle.
Okay.
When she holds the candle, they hand it back, and out of being nervous, she wipes her hands on her dress as a little girl. She wipes away the magic, and that's why her door doesn't open to anything.
Oh.
If you watch it,
I thought she didn't have a door.
No, she goes to open her door, and it doesn't do anything. So it doesn't open to anything special on the other side. That's why she lives in that like side room. Like the little kids, whatever. Because her door, she went to go open her door and nothing happened.
Now I'm going to have to go back and rewatch the movie because I don't remember her even having a door.
So it's like a flashback where she's a little kid and it's like going through the embarrassment of not having able to do anything. Also, I didn't realize we could do Disney movie conspiracies. I was doing park conspiracies. That's why all mine were.
Do you have a movie conspiracy?
Oh, man, we might have to have a park episode part 2 in like at some point next year or something.
Okay. Have you heard the one about how Captain Hook's actually the good guy?
I could already see that. I know I haven't heard it, but I could see it.
The idea is that he's trying to rescue kids from Peter Pan, who's trying to kidnap kids and keep them young forever. Because if you look at all the sailors on his ship, they're all too big for their clothes.
So they are all the rescued.
They're rescued kids that Hook has gotten.
So, I mean, yeah, I could see that easily.
And but then there's an alternative conspiracy that makes it clear that Hook is the bad guy. And that's that Hook, if you mesh Peter Pan and the Little Mermaid together, Hook is the pirate that killed the Little Mermaid, Ariel's mom, because they bring that up as that she's killed by pirates.
Did you know also on the Peter Pan ride you can see Ariel?
Yeah, that's what I was going to get at. Is in the movie there's mermaids and one of them looks a lot like Ariel, and so that's the idea, is that Hook is the pirate who kills mermaids, and that's why they're so scared when they bring up Hook, and that's why they dart off in the movie.
Escape from Tomorrow, by the way, is the name of the underground secret filmed Disney movie. It's a horror movie.
Escape from
Tomorrow.
So, okay, so they filmed it in secret, but they did it without the park knowing that they were doing it?
Correct.
What you're saying? Okay.
Yep. And then they got, like, I think there are some scenes that are filmed off park property, but a majority of it is them filmed walking around like they're making home movies, but they are filming a movie.
Jeez. Okay.
So it's like one of those things where it's like they get in a lot of trouble, and I think they Disney tried to sue them, but it's like, well, it's a little late, too late now. It's out there, so there's not much they can do.
That's not true. I'm looking at the IMDb, and it says that the starting thing was for all viewing audiences.
It's not true at all.
I was going to say, this says it's not rated. I don't know about that.
I mean, look at the movie posters. Mickey Mouse is covered in ketchup.
Yeah. In Dagor. Anyways, okay, cool. Well, that was it. There was a list of specific movie conspiracies that I found, and I was like, that's pretty interesting to think about.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's all I got. Is that all you got?
That's what I've got until
That's what I've got.
part 2 of our Disney talk, or sorry, park talk,
Yeah.
whenever that happens.
Oh, the next time you go to
Yeah.
park.
So I hate talking about it because it makes it sound like, rich money. I was planning on doing all these, like, because
No, you guys-
obviously there's people who will never be able to go to Disney at all. And I've been to half of all Disney parks.
Well, okay, but your wife is really good with money,
Yes.
and it's just the two of you. You both work, and you enjoy experiences. So, like, yeah, it makes sense that you can go to a park. It's not like you're going to the park every single weekend, but
Yeah.
you can make trips work. And so that's the thing is, like, for us, like, we've got 3 little kids and we got stuff going on with them. I'm the only one that works. My wife stays at home with the boys full time. So yeah, it's, if we had it, we would go on trips, but probably not to the parks. We'd go to the parks every now and then, but we'd probably try and go to like different countries.
Yeah.
We both really want to go to New Zealand.
Mm.
And ever since we got on the Mummy, like loving the Mummy movies, I think that we both secretly really want to go to Egypt now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And uncover the mysteries.
So technically it would just be for us 2 more trips.
Yeah, Hong Kong, and then
There's Hong Kong, Paris, and Shanghai are the
Paris still open?
their Disney park.
Yeah, I heard rumors that they were going to close it, but it's probably still there.
As of last time I looked, it's still there. And then the Hong Kong and Shanghai parks are about 3 hours apart.
Okay. Well, it might be there for now, but have you seen everything that's been going on in Paris? Like politically?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently it's crazy.
So might not ever be able to go there. But you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, our goal is, to
It's still around.
make it out there to the every Disney park.
What about the Disney resort in Hawaii?
Maybe eventually. That'd be nice.
There you go.
But it's like a spa resort, right? It's not an actual.
It's just a Disney themed resort. I don't think that it's any one thing. It's just a resort, but it's owned by Disney. So it has all the Disney themes. So it probably has like, the pool area, and it probably does have a spa in there, and it has its own restaurant and all that stuff, but it's all Disney stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
Anyway, so this was a nice break from the joyful season.
yeah,
You got any holiday things to say?
I do. Maybe I do.
If you utter so much as one syllable, I'll hunt you down and gut you like a fish. If you'd like to fax me, press the star key.
That's what I've got.
So festive.
Yeah, but so next week we're gonna be coming right up on Christmas. So
Mm-hmm.
make sure you join us. We're gonna be talking about the Nativity, which is the birth of Jesus Christ.
Which is that is going to be our finale of joyful season.
No, because the Monday after Christmas we'll be talking about the 3 wise men.
That's right. Sorry. So this is a bit of a kind of, I wouldn't say break, but it's a bit of we talked about the festive stuff and whatnot, but
Yeah.
hey, a bit of a middle ground break in the
yeah.
month of December. But hey, back into it hardcore with the Nativity.
The Nativity, birth of Christ, talking about how insane it was that the sky was filled with angels on the night of his birth. We kind of gloss over that when we read the story.
Easy. You're talking spoilers. That was a little preview for next week.
There we go. Okay. All right.
So anyways, so yeah,
Like,
comment.
subscribe, share. I don't know why I said subscribe, but
They can subscribe.
in the back of my head, I'm like, YouTube.
Well, YouTube and
Because that's what we've
Apple.
always done.
Apple. Well, also you can also subscribe on Apple.
Okay. So yeah, subscribe and share and comment and like and rate
And hug a neighbor.
and hug a neighbor. And while you're hugging them, whisper into their ear, hey, listen to the Saints That Serve podcast.
Available on all major platforms.
Hey, Charlie.
And end it with the hey, Charlie.
All right. Well, Christ is Lord.
And the kingdom is now.
We are
the
saints that serve.
Okay, bye. Love you.
Bye, guys. Love you.
Hey, Charlie.
Charlie.
Hey, Charlie.
If anybody's watching and your name's Charlie, hey.